Are you a business owner looking to secure your financial future and create a lasting legacy? I'm Leah Garcia, a financial strategist and insurance professional, and I specialize in guiding businesses with up to 50 employees on how to effectively protect and transfer their wealth. We break down silos with my unique approach, the Wall of Wealth. Imagine a seamless collaboration among your CPA, tax attorney, estate planner, and insurance expert, each playing their part in perfect harmony, ensuring your financial strategy is not just effective, but a true masterpiece. My passion stems from my own journey, from growing up on food stamps to dreaming of building community centers that empower others. Together, we'll craft a roadmap that not only safeguards your assets, but also nurtures generational wealth for your loved ones. Let's transform your vision into reality. After all, you can't measure the heart of a champion just by looking at them. Join me, and let's make your financial future shine.
Well, happy Wealthy Wednesday, champions. Today is going to be fire, and I should say happy worldwide Wealthy Wednesday. We can talk as if I'm super excited for today's show. It's going to be incredible. If you are an author, aspiring author, you know someone who would like to be an author, but you just think that it's not possible, reach out to them, share this with somebody, invite them in, and let me know where you're tuning in from. We are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So let us know where you're catching us live here on this incredible Wealthy Wednesday. Well, I would just ask, how many of you have thought about writing a book? I would say for me, it's not really on top of mind for me, but I could see the value in writing a book. And with that all being said, I am going to be writing a book, so I don't even know what I'm talking about. But listen here. The thing is, sometimes things can seem so daunting, or maybe we just think our story isn't valuable. There is somebody who's watching you, who's tied to your red wagon, who you would inspire. I'm telling you, you don't even know the people who are secretly rooting for you in the comments, in the shadows, right? And today's guest speaker is going to be incredible. I just feel like it's a celebrity moment for me where I'm getting to highlight a LinkedIn top voice celebrity. I'm telling you guys. So here's what we want to talk about this young man here. He's actually Felipe Cofiño. He's debuting his children's book, Backyard Adventures with Miranda Max. It's a playful, inspirational tale inspired by real events. When his daughter Miranda was a small child, she returned from playing in their backyard with their dog Max, and imagined that they had gotten lost. How cute is that? And met many friends and friendly friends that helped guide them home. This magical moment sparked Felipe's imagination and motivated him to bring this adventure to life on the page. Through his writing, Felipe shares his love of family, creativity, hoping to inspire young authors and readers to explore their own backyard imaginations. And I absolutely love that, getting into a child's world. And today's topic is family, career, culture, and books. I think that's an incredible segue. So without further ado, I got to introduce to you LinkedIn's top voice. He also puts the human in HR, and an international best-selling author. And I would say he is the captain of the Cool Kids Club on LinkedIn. If you don't know that, if you don't know LinkedIn, if you don't know Felipe, then you're probably not a part of the Cool Kids Club. So without further ado, I want to bring up Mr. Felipe Cofiño.
Well, thank you, Leah. That was a wild introduction, and I appreciate that. And I'm excited to be here today.
Awesome. So I want to know, everybody wants to know, were you always cool?
Oh, I was a geek as a kid. You know, I mean, I was the one who, I like to play sports, but I wasn't the best at any of them. I was a comic book nerd. I definitely was a kid that I was willing to take risks and try different things. So I was like in the middle of the pack, you know?
Awesome. You've developed such a culture on LinkedIn. Like what inspired you? I mean, when I came onto LinkedIn, you were already a top voice and just doing all kinds of incredible collaborations. Like people follow you everywhere you go. What inspired you to really get active on LinkedIn?
Well, it's been a journey. It started off with my employer at the time, Hyatt, said, hey, there's a new business social media platform. We want all of you all to get on it because we want you all to be able to engage with each other worldwide because it was a global company. That turned into, oh, we could use it to recruit. We could use it to attract talent and to find talent. And so I started using it as a recruiter and HR professional. And it wasn't, that was in 2007 to about 2015. 2015 is when I realized that there's an opportunity here to really tap into the people that are using the app and really start building relationships. And the community part has been a part of me all my life. That's a tribute to my parents and our Hispanic culture. Culture and community has always been very predominant in my life. So wherever I went and I experienced it, I was drawn to it. Hospitality, huge culture there of just welcoming and making people feel a part of something bigger, regardless of where you came from and who you were. But after that, I started realizing the power of just collaborations, learning from other people, sharing your knowledge. I had people along the way in my career that helped me without asking for anything in return. They did it out of the kindness of their own heart, and it helped me learn and grow and succeed throughout my career. I wanted to give that back and do that for others, and LinkedIn provided me that opportunity. So I started sharing information about jobs for job seekers to help recruiters recruit better, to show people how to brand your company and promote it in a way that not only helps you get more clients, but helps you retain and attract the top talent. And then someone told me about personal branding. I'm like, yeah, okay, well, people see me, so I'm branding myself. They're like, no, they need to get to know you. And that's where I went from being all business focused. People always called me Mr. Corporate. I was always Mr. Corporate. And now they say, oh, you're very, you got warm and fuzzies. You're in tune to wellness. You're in tune to mental health. That's not who I always was. That was that later on in life. That became part of the results of my journey. Because things happened in my life where I had a horrible accident, started having anxiety. I had my retina was attaching from my eye, and I was affected by stress. I started sharing those stories and allowing people to hopefully learn from them and get something out of them, because I didn't learn those things until I was in my 40s. I wish someone told me when I was in my 20s about these things. So that's really where all this has kind of been a journey of growing, and it's continued to grow. And now, because of all the friends and collaborations and people like Nicole who have inspired me, I actually took a dream that I had for 20 years and I was actually able to make it come to fruition because of the connections and the networking and the friendships I've made.
That's incredible. And I love that, because you really are incredible at highlighting other people. I mean, you're in all kinds of different spaces and places, but you never make it about you. You're always highlighting other people, their causes. And that's really where community is built, right? People talk about community, but it's really getting to know the people behind the bubble. What really makes them tick? What is really driving them? And people would look at your profile and they would say, oh, okay, he's an HR guy. You know, we kind of know who he is, but now we're getting to see a whole new side of it. I absolutely love that. And we're going to talk about family, career, culture, and books. So you had this idea, and, you know, I think it's a gift when a child invites us into their world. It really is. And when we can allow them to have the freedom to share their imagination stories, like that just speaks to my soul. And it almost gets me like choked up, because I think about my own precious grandson, who's probably about the age Miranda was at the time when she had this venture. So how was that something that you always had? Was she always kind of sharing things? But before you answer that, we also want to say, Mike says he's handsome too. So there you go.
Thank you, Mike. I gotta give a shout out to Mike. Mike is, if you all have checked out the audio music that goes along with the storybook, Mike was the one who wrote the lyrics and put it to music for me. So kudos to him for that. If you are looking for someone who has songwriting talent skills, this man is a true songwriter. You know, yes, AI can help us create music and all that, but when it comes to creating lyrics that resonate and make sense, that's a talent that, you know, not everyone can replicate. So kudos to Mike on that. As far as my daughter and imagination, yeah, when my daughter was born, there was a show that came out that says kids say the darndest things. I don't know if y'all remember that. And it was just funny because kids would just speak their mind, and share their perspective, but also tap into their imagination. So my daughter and my son, I wouldn't say that they were so into their imagination where like they even had imaginary friends. They didn't have that kind of imagination, but it was more about, oh, look, we were playing and all of a sudden they start, chasing each other, hiding, or maybe they're sort of playing with sticks. And I'm like, oh, what are y'all doing? They're like, oh, well, we're having a battle. I'm defending the castle and I'm defending the village and this and that. And it's like they had a whole story behind it. So it was always nice to see them do that. And for me, this book originally was meant as like a love letter to my daughter. I didn't really think about the ripple effect of what else it could be. And as I finished it, I started realizing this really is a good reminder for people to just go out and let the kids be kids and tap into their imagination, because it's so often that what I see, and I'm guilty of it too, a young kid doing this, not talking to anybody, but on their phone or an iPad at 6, 7, 4, 5 years old. I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm saying in addition to that, let them come up with their own imagination. Let them, be free and get creative and just tap into it.
Yeah, that's so good. And it makes me think about, like, with my precious grandson, when he tells me I'm bored, I just get so excited because I know he'll find something to entertain himself. I'm like, oh, that's wonderful, mijo. And he'll say, why, Gams, why do you say that's wonderful? And I just sit and watch. And just a few minutes later, he's creating something and building an imagination. So I just love that. And
just
I want
one thing, it's when kids are doing something, don't always stop them. And I'll share one reason why. My son was trying to figure out something with the computer, and we had gotten him a computer, and he was like maybe I think 10 years old, and he was trying to figure out why something worked. And I'm like, well, Brady, you can Google it, you can research it. So I went to work, I came back, and I have a picture of him on the floor. The entire computer is taken apart into pieces. And I'm like, you just broke your entire computer. And he's like, no, I didn't. I can put it back together. I'm like, buddy, you don't understand how complicated this is. I came back the next day. It was back together. He was playing his games and everything was fine.
Wow.
I never would have imagined that he had the ability to do that. If I had stopped him, I might have stopped him from using his creativity to figure out how something works. So it's a reminder that it's not just fluff, y'all. It's tapping into their strengths, and you don't know what their strengths are all the time. So let them show you.
That's an incredible story. And to your point, it's really just non-directed play, right? Allowing them to figure it out and just being an observer and just saying, wow, I see your computer is all taken apart. That's really incredible.
I wasn't that calm. I was definitely not that calm.
But I get it. Hey, we're older. Listen, I'm a better grandmother than I was a parent. That's all I can say. I ask for forgiveness all the time. I had a dinner with my daughter, and we were just talking. I'm like, I am so sorry. Listen, I did the best that I could. Right? I did the best that I could. But thank God for grace and forgiveness for sure. I want to highlight the song because the song is adorable. And I don't even know if you can play it now, but it's really short. I would love for you to play it if you can, because it really, can you?
I think I have it here. I can see it. I don't know if you can hear it. Let me try it.
Okay, let's see if you can.
All right. Wait.
Let me know if you guys can hear it. Forgiveness for sure. I want to highlight the song because the song is I don't even know if you can play it now, but.
Okay, let's see. Can you hear this? Rapper came running through the back door. Max at her heels like he's done before. Four balls in one right hard, making music in our yard. I watched her laugh at his silly games. Saw her whisper his secret names. She's learned to love through wagging tail. Bond that time will never fail. Miranda and Max, two hearts that beat as one. Grateful for the joy they bring into our home.
I mean, doesn't that just warm your heart? It's so well done. This is not a book, it's a production. It truly, truly is. And I want to highlight this comment by Mr. Mike Drop, David Jones of LLC. He says, collaboration is the new currency, and it truly, truly is. And so many times people think it's about a win-win. Like I do for you, you do for me. But it's really a give, 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 give. And then maybe something along the line will come back to you. It's giving without any expectation of having something coming back to you, but it always does. And you really have done that so eloquently. And Felipe, I just think it's part of who you are. It's not something contrived. It's just really what you do. And I mean, you've been doing this social Saturday now for, I don't even know how long you've been doing that.
3 years.
3 years. I mean, I see you there every Saturday, and you always bring the same energy, highlighting people and their causes. And that's really what it's about, is that collaboration, finding those people that you never would have found on your own. For example, Michael, who put that together for you. I mean, I just think, you know, the story's incredible, but the song just like puts it all together. I don't know how you could even listen to that without crying. I don't even know.
My wife is like, she loves it so much, and she's like, the chorus, she says it's get earworm. It gets into it, and she can't, and she likes it though because it's about our daughter, you know. So, thank you, Mike. I really appreciate that. And you know, I just like anything else, when I believe in something, whether it's the place I work, I want them to be as successful as possible. And if I can help do that through my HR efforts or supporting them in their efforts, I'm all in. And when I'm all in, that's how I am. And this book is another example of how I'm all in. The song I'm right now, I was telling Leah earlier in the pre-live, I'm teaching myself a little bit about AI video, and I'm making these graphics come to life to the music. So it's going to be a little video short of them actually actively moving through the entire story. And then I'm going to take that story, take out the music, and do a reading of the story as well. So it'll be like a little mini audiobook. Again, this is something that I want to do for me. I hope others enjoy it. But you know, a lot of times, if I was doing this because I wanted to make a certain dollar amount and I didn't make it, it would definitely take some of the joy out. I definitely have visions of this being a series, of doing more with this now that I've got this bug. But financially, there is something that you got to think about. Is this part of my legacy? Is this part of my retirement? Possibly. It's a contributing factor. Absolutely. I have a business book that I'm working on now about retirement. That is something that I think will be a huge game changer if it takes hold. But I've practiced it. I've seen it work. And so it's going to see. So, and that's one thing I think is important, is tap into your experience, your knowledge, your expertise, but also tap into what brings you joy.
I always say, if it's not fun, you're doing it wrong. Like, we work so hard, but we have to have some fun along the way. And when I want to actually go back to when your daughter first saw it, because I was there at the event when she saw it for the first time. Did she know that you were writing this book throughout the process?
So she did. So she knew that I always brought up the story in conversations over time, and I would do little things here and there to add, you know, like, oh, I want to draw the squirrel. Let me see if I can do it. And just in the past year and a half, she saw me like, all right, you know, I talked about the book. I've actually written out the story on paper now. What do you think? And I'd have her read it. So she did read it. And then I was like, all right, we'll work on the illustrations. And I showed her a picture of her and Max, and she's like, well, I don't have that. You know, that's not really me. And so I made little tweaks to it. And then after that, I waited. I didn't show her anything until it was all done. And when she saw it in print, it definitely hit her differently. That was definitely, and it's same with me. I mean, holding the book in your hand, I always people say that, but there is something about holding it in your hand. Also to the level of like, oh God, now I'm worried that it's not like perfect. And now that I'm holding it in my hand, like when it was digital, I don't know why. I felt like, oh, if it's not perfect, I can still change it. It's on paper, right. I can change this. So yeah, so she definitely was taken along for the ride. I don't know if she thought I was ever going to actually put it out there, because it did happen very fast. Once I had it finished and I reached out to Nick, Nick was amazing. As a publisher, she got that out in 4 weeks.
Wow.
That's impressive. Now, I did do a lot of the formatting and all the illustration that normally a publisher would help with. So I had a 98% finished product. They had to retweak some of the formatting, add a few things on the numbering, but it was something that I did put a lot of work into it. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's incredible. And absolutely, I hear so many great things about Nick Agai Galindo and her incredible publishing company, Guiding Brilliant Writers. And I would say that she is so brilliant herself. I mean, truly, I've had some coffee chats with her, and just what she does is really, really unique. And really, I think she has this really unique ability to pull something out of the author that they really didn't even know that was there. That's what I've seen just from the outside looking in. What would you say to that, Felipe?
Absolutely. Nick, if you are looking to write your first book or your second or third book, check out Nick, because when you get a publisher that is passionate, that believes in you, and is willing to work hard for you, it's amazing. And Nick, who's been doing this for a couple of years now, she's not, out there like one of the biggest publishing companies in the world, but to me, I reached out to a number of different other ones that had experience publishing books. I didn't get the confidence, I didn't get the sense of energy or the sense that I was a priority for them. Nick gave me all that. And I think that anyone that works with her is going to see so much potential, because not only does she pull it out of you. I mean, the first two books I co-authored. So Miranda Max is the first book I authored myself. These two I co-authored with her. The first one was about LinkedIn. Now, when she reached out to me, like, would you be interested in co-authoring a book? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not a writer now. It's like, are you sure? We think you'd be, a good addition to the team? Like, no. It's about LinkedIn. Oh, well, maybe. Like, I could write about LinkedIn. I don't have to worry about anything else. And so she got me hooked on that. And then she got me hooked on a letter to my family, a message to my family. And that's, again, something that was meaningful to me. And so after those two, it gave me the confidence. And through that process, what she did was she also helped teach me how to do certain things. She helped remind me, I read your chapter, I didn't hear the funny Felipe or the little stories. It was a bit overly professional. And I was like, well, I was always taught not to write like I speak, and like try writing like you speak. And I did. And then what surprised me was, and this is again a ripple effect, that you don't know what's going to happen until you try doing something. I went down and my mother was reading the LinkedIn book. Okay, it's about LinkedIn, y'all. Keep that in mind. She was crying. I'm like, Mom, what's wrong? Why are you crying? She's like, it's your book. I go, Mom, it's not cry worthy. Why are you crying? She's like, it's not what you wrote. It's how you wrote. You write like your father used to write. Now, my father passed away 20 years ago. My father had a PhD. He was a brilliant writer. I am not his caliber. She's like, I'm not talking about the caliber of the style writing. I'm talking about how you make you feel, the storytelling. You are very similar to him. And I never would have ever guessed that if I hadn't done this. So now my mom is writing her life story. At 93 years old, she's writing her life story. She's about 2/3 of the way done.
Wow. At 93, that's incredible. Oh my goodness. And I want to highlight this comment because I can relate to this. I call him Mr. Mic Drop. He says, my mom would give me chores if I said I was bored, like Dusty. Yeah, that's what I used to do with my kids too. I'm gonna tell the truth. I did. If you said they were bored, I'm gonna give you chores. And then so my kids learned not to say they were bored. They always found something to do, right? Yeah. There's always something to do, especially we had toys everywhere in our house. I mean, they had a whole room dedicated, the toy room. So they didn't have any problem with not having toys. So I love that, you put this all together and you really are inspiring so many people right now just by what you're sharing, the process, your thought process, and really understanding that it is a process. Even if you have an idea and you don't know the end, like if you just have that glimmer, that little fire in you, I would say it's worth a conversation with somebody like Nick, she really is brilliant. I have to really, truly say that. But with somebody who can help bring that out in you and really help you to see that your story deserves to be told. And with that, I feel like I'm talking to myself because I'm like resisting writing. Okay. I'm actually going to be dropping some books, some financial books that is going to be geared towards children. And my my precious grandson is helping me like create some of those stories. So it's in the works. It's there. It's coming. But I love what you're saying. It's like you start with a book and now you've got this song and then you're going to add the AI and it's going to become this whole thing. It'll probably become like a cartoon. It'll be on the big screen. Like we don't even know what happened.
Well, it definitely is something that, again, the way I look at it is I have my notes pad, my notes app, on my phone. And I have a folder for everything from what's good, from workplace wellness hour to careers casting coaching to social Saturday chat. But then I have books, the different books I'm working on. Anything that I am passionate about, I start a little notes page. What I want to tell everybody is, if you do something like that, you'll figure out which passion you want to work on the most, because you'll keep on adding notes to the same page. And all of a sudden I started realizing I keep on going to the Max and Miranda book. There's something in me that is driving me to that. I have passion. Let me tap into that. Because if it was something like, oh, it's another idea, but I don't want to do it, then why am I going to waste my energy on it? But when I started realizing which notes was I really constantly adding things to, that tells me there's something there. And so try that, see if it brings something out in you that you didn't realize, that you were much more passionate about it than you thought, because it might be that next project for you.
Yeah, it's that brainstorming, right? There's just that brain dump. Just don't judge yourself. Just start writing things down, and then you never know how you'll start making those connections. I think that is brilliant. I want to highlight a few people who've joined us, letting me know where you're tuning in from. Derek, thank you for joining us. Derek Espadas. I think you're new here. Thank you for joining us. Sharon Byrne, thank you for joining us. She's an expert when it comes to knowing about student debt. If you are dealing with student debt and you are not sure what to do, please reach out to her, because she is really that specialist and expert. And then, of course, the incredible Miss Nick Agai Galindo. Thank you for joining us, guiding brilliant writers. We appreciate you so much. We always appreciate your support. I don't even know how she does it. She just seems to be everywhere. Got a little bit of feedback there. And then Miss Rose Winfield, I call her the Gita girl. She's about gratitude. If you want to be lifted up, she writes incredible poetry. I would say, Miss Sharon, Miss Gita, you need to write a book. She makes these incredible poetries that she posts on LinkedIn. They are just amazing. And so if you're feeling a little down, reach out to the Gita girl, because she believes that gratitude is the answer. And I also want to welcome my good friend, Miss Kendra Knoll. She's from Boomtag Media. If you're looking to upgrade your social media game, and I would say, especially if you like video, she does a lot of really creative video things. She's incredible on LinkedIn, but also follow her on Instagram. She does a lot of fun shorts and so creative. She inspires me all the time. And she's got her new podcast that also just dropped as well. She's doing incredible there. And of course, Mike LeBlanc, we appreciate you. Incredible. I love the song. When I heard the song, I was just like, oh my gosh, over the top. So thank you for sharing that, Felipe. And then of course we have Mr. Mike Drop, Mr. David from LLC. If you're ready to take your dusty, crusty website and business card and upgrade it, I would highly recommend them. Visit my Biz in a Box. You have to see what it is. It is a smart link. It's more than a website. It's interactive. You can take my financial quiz. You can also download my free ebook, my one-page financial plan. It's really, really amazing. I can't take any credit for it. It is all their brilliance. Okay, I do the brain dump that you probably did, Felipe, and I just kind of hand it over to them. It's a mess, but they make it so brilliant and shine it up so perfectly.
I have to remember that.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm also going into the metaverse, and they're going to be helping me create my Magic Maverick money moments. So you're going to see that really, really soon. It's coming up. And then also Nick Savage, Coach Nick. Listen, if you are an aspiring athlete or you have a child that's an aspiring athlete, please get in touch with him. He deals with everything holistically. It's not just about their skills, but it's about their mind shift, right? He teaches them about really what to think, how to think, and has some incredible things that he teaches. So please, please reach out to him. So those are the people that I see here. A lot of great friends. Oh, Miss Cristina Sargato. If I can highlight her comment.
Hola.
Hola. We love Christina. If you want to grow your social media presence, you want to organically start getting leads, please reach out to Christina. She is absolutely brilliant. And she loves one of my favorite F words, which is free. She's going to teach you a lot of things that are free that you don't have to pay for. Please reach out to Miss Christina. She's incredible at what she does. And let's see, who else do I see here? I feel like romper room when I do this, but I love highlighting all of you. And please, if you have an ebook, you have an event coming up, this is an opportunity for you to go ahead and share what you do. This is something, we're here to network with each other. Somebody's looking for you and what you do. So what's the next chapter? I mean, you're already just finishing this book, but I mean, we were talking offline. You're like, oh my gosh, it's just kind of opened up other projects.
Well, like I mentioned the retirement book, that's been something that's been on my mind for the last year and a half, and I'm eager to get that out. The follow-up to Miranda Max is going to be the next backyard adventure is going to be Brady and Lucky, the one-eyed cats. It's going to be titled The Daring Rescue. I have that written out already. That's
Wow.
ready. I do not have any graphics except for the one graphic you saw at the end of this book, which has the Brady and Lucky. But Lucky is a one-eyed cat. He is not just missing an eye because of the picture. We rescued him. He had just been rescued, and they found him after a fight, and he had lost his eye. And so my son's like, no one's going to adopt him if we don't. And so we ended up adopting him. But there are Easter eggs throughout this book. I did Easter eggs for my family, and I also did Easter eggs for other people, and little like sneak things for the future books. One of the Easter eggs for my family was my daughter. One of the things that she gets it from her mother, a wonderful trait. They both lose earrings on a regular basis. My wife has one earring of every stone possible for the last 30 years, and my daughter has picked up on that. So if you notice in the book, you see Miranda with an earrings, and then throughout the book, she loses it and doesn't have them anymore. So little things like that. But yeah, so my plan is to do a 5-book series for this and then stop. I do Felipe's 5. I'm going to stay true to that. And so the books are going to be the second one about Brady and Miranda. I have one about Storm. They're all based on our pets throughout the years. So the next one will be Storm, and then we have Chewy and Copper. And then my son recommended for the 5th book to do a Halloween book as a backyard adventure because of the huge Halloween event that we do here where 4,000 people come to our street every Halloween. And I think a Halloween story for kids would be fun. So that's what's in my mind. It's one of those things where now that my kids are grown up, I have a lot more time to think on my days off or on the weekends. And this is what I think about. So
that's awesome. I love that. And when I saw your Halloween festivities, like you had all these, I said, oh, Felipe is my jam. Talk a little bit about that. You just kind of glazed over. How did that kind of mastermind? Because you do it all out with a haunted house and everything.
Oh, yeah. Well, so we moved into this neighborhood almost 29 years ago. And our neighbors told us, has anyone warned you about Halloween? We get about 500 kids that come to our street because we close it off. And we want to create a safe space. And we've been doing this for like 15 years. And I'm like, that's awesome. I think it's great. I've never gone all out for Halloween, put out the pumpkin, give out candy. That's all we did. Now we got a lot of kids at our house because my mom was a school teacher and we lived by the school. So all her students would come by. And we moved in here, the first Halloween, we were like shocked. Like, wow, there were 500 kids. Well, then the news station started coming out and the radio station. So my kids were interviewed on one year, and then they were on another radio station, and it grew. And then in the Washington Post one year, it listed top 5 places to go for Halloween in the Washington, D.C. area. And we were number 3. Now they had huge festivals of Halloween, and then they had our street as number 3. And that's when it blew up to about 2,000 kids and 1,500 adults. So it was the average. So we usually buy between 2,000 and 2,500 pieces of candy. And it's about the experience. Every house decorates more for Halloween than they do for Christmas or any other holiday. So we have speakers in the sewer. We have things on strings flying from the house. My house is an entire haunted forest where you have to go through the forest to get to the candy, and people are jumping out, staring at you. Other people do like a Charlie Brown theme, and they have big Charlie Brown characters. So I'm the scariest house. All the rest of them are pretty docile, but yeah, it's a lot of candy, and they get 1 piece of candy each. That's all we can afford because 2,500 pieces of candy. Sorry, here's your 1 lollipop. Here's your 1 big Tootsie Roll. You're not getting big candy bars here. But during the pandemic, it was a huge thing and during the sniper shooting that happened here in DC years ago, it was a place where people felt safe to come to. And we thought about stopping it after the pandemic, and then one of the people said, "Who's going to tell the Children's Hospital that come every year that says it's better than Christmas?" And I'm like, okay, that's that. I was like, I'm not going to say that we're not going to do it because they actually bring a van every year from the Children's Hospital and bring the kids. So for us, it's a lot of work. We may complain about it when we're setting up, but during it and the day after, we're so glad we did it every time.
Wow. So do you have sponsors or do you finance this yourself?
So we finance it ourselves. We do the house at the end of the street does have a box for donations. And Meredith, what she does is that she takes all that money, she'll buy a boatload of candy, and she's anybody that runs out, come see me, and she will supply extra candy for anyone that runs out. And then so we do that every year. We used to have parties, planning parties, starting in September. After doing this for 30 years, I'm like, I know what I'm doing. Because the planning parties, we have fun, we drink wine, and we talk. And in the beginning, we got a lot of work done. We created tombstones and caskets and stuff like that. Now, it's just a lot of talking. So everyone now we do have 6 new neighbors this year. They were all warned. They all know. They're all excited. And I think that the younger generation, they're upping their game. They're going. So I'm curious to see what happens this year, because we've always been pretty traditional with cobwebs and tombstones and strobe lights and maybe some fog machines that we have. I feel like they're going to go a little bit crazier. We'll see.
Wow, that's incredible.
Hi,
yeah, great to see you, Melissa. Do you have like a storage? I mean, it sounds like this is a whole production. So do you have like a whole storage that you have? Like, it's a lot of things that
we have 16 orange crates that are the orange for Halloween that are in our shed. And it's all very well organized now. We've got a system down pat. And the good thing is the cobwebs we can throw away every year, and they're the cheapest thing to buy, but they make the biggest impact. The fog machine and the lights add a lot. And then my father-in-law, God rest his soul, he came down every year for Halloween, not for Christmas, not for our birthdays, but for Halloween, because he was so impressed with it. And he would buy us a 6-foot animated Halloween figure. So we have a 6-foot witch. We have a 6-foot wolf that shakes in the cage. We have a 6-foot pumpkin head. So he would go all out and buy us these things because he just thought it was amazing.
That's incredible. I love it. I mean, what a great memory for people in your neck of the woods. It sounds like people come from all over to visit that, but just have a good old fun time walking through, getting their candy, going through the haunted house, and just having a safe environment. So I love that you do that. I just thought, oh, wow, this is incredible.
My favorite thing is to scare the parents, because the kids are like, can we bring our parents in and can you scare them like you scared us? I'm like, sure. Oh my God, the parents get more scared than the kids. It's hysterical.
That's awesome. Do you ever feel guilty?
No, yes. In the first hour, the wolf mask, I don't try to scare kids because they're usually the small kids coming in. So when they come in, they're like, no, I take off the mask. I'm like, no, it's okay. It's just a mask. And they're like, okay. So I have felt guilty when I made a kid cry because he got scared. But I do the first hour and a half, I try not to do any jumping out. I'm just there with a mask on. My wife's handing out candy. The other kids are there. And we just let them go through it. And it's usually daylight when they're coming through anyway.
Yeah, the little ones come through first, and then you kind of up your game.
The teenagers, I'm going after them because sometimes they get cocky. I'm like, oh, okay, I hear you. And so, yeah, I have fun.
Do you chase them?
I chase them a little bit. There's no touch. We don't grab them. We don't touch them, but we do have silly string. So I spray the silly string to scare them. Like, where'd that come from? And then I jump out, because a lot of times as I gotten older, it used to be great exercise, but I'd be so sore the next day and I lose my voice. So now I lay on a chair and act like a dummy, and they think I'm just like a fake doll, and then I jump up and scare them.
Wow. So what are you going to do in your older years? Like, you're going to have your little Felipe cane and chasing them?
Oh, well, my son, who is 6'3", so I'm 5'9". So he purchased me a wolf mask that had gray hair. So I am now the gray-haired wolf. He is the younger wolf, and he's taller, bigger, and he's more intimidating. So I think he's going to take it on. My wife's fiance is very excited about it. He brought his own wolf mask, and he's like, I want them to think that the wolf is jumping from one place to the other, and they don't know, because it was very similar. So I'm like, okay. So I feel like the younger generation's coming in, and as they have kids, I think they'll want to do it more. That's
amazing. I love it. It's a whole production. I love this comment by Christina. What if everything you're passionate about could become a project so powerful it leaves a mark on the world? I love that. And sometimes people will tell me, I don't know where my passion is. I don't know what my why is. And what would you say to somebody like that, Felipe, who they have a lot of things they're interested in, but they don't know that one thing?
Don't listen to the people saying no. Don't listen to yourself saying no. Go out and try it. We have so much at our disposal right now with ChatGPT, other generative AI, Google, and so many resources to reach out to people who can answer questions for us. Just go out and take that first step and try it. And if you start saying, oh, I kind of like this, you'll catch yourself getting lost in it. You'll get into your flow state and you'll start enjoying it. But the hardest thing for anyone to do is take that first step. Just research it, look at it, try it, do something. Because one of the things that I will say, I work at PRB, it's called Population Reference Bureau, and we're a nonprofit that do a lot of data and research to help improve policies around the world. One of the brilliant things I heard my CEO said was, if there's anything that anyone's passionate about, go ahead and write a concept note and submit it, because we want to hear all your ideas. And that was such a huge thing to put out that blanket statement. So we don't care who it is. Go ahead. If you have something that you're passionate about that you think we can work towards, go ahead and put it out there. Let us know, because that's one of the things that a lot of people don't realize. When you only have your vision being driven, you're missing out on so many other opportunities that people may have thought of that you didn't. And so I encourage, don't listen to the naysayers. Go ahead and try it. Just the last thing I'll say, fail fast if it's not working. If you know it's not working, go ahead and say, okay, I tried it. I reached out all resources. I tried to learn from it. It's just not my thing, or it doesn't work, and move on. And that's okay. Don't invest and spend years in something that you keep on saying to yourself, it's not working. It's not working.
What a really, really wise share. I would say if you're just joining, rewind that last 5 minutes, because we all sometimes will judge ourselves before we ever put even the pen to the paper and even start to mastermind with ourselves. And I say sometimes we got to do a brain dump, which is you just write down everything that comes to your mind. You don't know where that inspiration can come from. And oftentimes, Dr. Benjamin Hardy says one of the first things we should do is to do a brain dump in the morning. Just write down everything that comes to your mind, because that's the first opportunity that we have. We're not being influenced by anything else, just kind of our brains and all of that we've been kind of festering on all night. Maybe it's your dreams or something. And I really love that, because when I do it, because I don't do it every day, but when I do it, I will find things that you don't even know how it's connected, but then you figure out how it's connected. Right. We're getting so many intuitions, so many nudges throughout the day, but they come in a whisper, and we're not listening a lot of times. And I'll put my hand up. Okay. I'll say we. I'm not saying you. I'm saying we. Sometimes we're not listening to those intuitions, but that's really where the brilliance is. And because it comes so gentle, we sometimes can overlook it.
And one thing about those brain dumps, however you do it, unless you are handwriting them, no judgment, but if you're doing them in a notes app like I am, one of my favorite things to do is when I started thinking, it's like, maybe I should start working on the book. Like, all right, I know I wrote notes about it. Let me just do search for notes for a book. And I realized, I had 3 different notes. Like, I forgot about that idea. Brain dumping's great. Going back and pulling it out and having a method to research it is so valuable, because that one idea that you thought of that was a brilliant idea and you wrote it down, it may have left your mind and you forgot about it and you didn't remember it until that moment. So writing it down is huge. Melissa Houston always talks about document and then act. I think that's a great motto, besides being a good business sense. It's document it and then act. If you document it and you write it down, you're more likely to take action, but it is so important.
And one thing I recently discovered, I recently upgraded my phone to an iPhone. I resisted. I was an Android user through and through, but I got a lot of pressure from my mentor. And one of the things I recently discovered is just the audio notes, right? Just instead of writing things down, because sometimes you can lose your thoughts in that, but just actually just putting on that. Maybe it's available on Android. I don't know. I just discovered it on iPhone. Okay. but just having that opportunity to just give out my thoughts like that, so it's rapid fire and I'm not trying to keep up with my handwriting, or maybe it's handwritten that I can't even decipher it later on. And I want to welcome Coach K. Great to see you here.
Hi.
And I'm looking forward to watching the replay. This is my first time putting a face to Felipe Cofiño. You have a new fan here. Oh my goodness. How did you know Felipe Cofiño? Everyone knows Felipe Cofiño.
You're too kind.
No, you definitely have had a huge impact, and you really do inspire a lot of people. I don't know if you understand that, are really stepping into that. You really do inspire a lot of the connections and the collaborations. I see a lot of people who do a lot of things that kind of mirror and mimic what the things that you're doing, because you kind of set precedents.
That's very touching. That's very kind of you to say. That means a lot.
Yeah. So we're kind of winding down here. We kind of have touched on, I think, everything. What is going to be coming up for you? I mean, you're really doing something that I see is a whole nother part of you that you're able to share with us. And your family is just rallying around you, which I think is just absolutely so brilliant. I loved it when I saw your daughter, because you said you weren't sure how she was going to take the pictures of her growing up as a little girl, but I saw how touched she was. And you know, what an incredible legacy to leave to your family.
That's one thing I'm excited about is, you know, I think about my father all the time. My son, actually just yesterday, he sat down and it's like, for the first time in his life, said, talk to me about Waldo. What was he like? Just tell me about it. And then for an hour, I just shared. And I think about, I wish I had a YouTube video I could have shared with him. I wish I had, you know, a book that he had written. We do have pictures, we do have some videos, but not like the things we have today. I think that's something so precious that for the future legacies, if you have that opportunity to document it in a way that, whether it's in a book, doing audios, doing videos, even if it's just your own photographs and your own videos that you save on your phone, those are things that I think are going to be such a great legacy. One of the big things I am praying that these books do is it continues to tell stories that I wish I could have told those future generations when I'm not around. So it would give me such joy to think of a great-grandchild of mine reading to my great-great-grandchild, hey, this was your great-great-grandfather's book that he wrote for your grandmother. You know, and just thinking about that is just, because a lot of those stories get lost through the generations. So the fact that we can document them now a little bit easier than we could in the past, it's a great gift to leave forward.
Absolutely. And I always talk about the 7 F's. I believe that true wealth is having success in all the areas, in your faith, in your family. Like if you accumulate wealth, but your family relationships are terrible, that's not wealth to me, right? In your finances, your fitness, your fun. Fun is funner when you have a few dollars in your pocket. You can do some things, right? And also philanthropic, because I really believe that givers gain. And then also food, because I'm a big foodie, but I also think food brings us together. We get to experience other people's culture, and just listen to the great storyteller, Jay Pascal. Listen to him talk about his family traditions, the food that they have. I mean, I've never had some of the things he talks about, but it makes me want to try them, right? So, and what you're doing, Felipe, is you really are building that family dynasty. You really are leaving a legacy that your great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren will be able to know something about you and about the wisdom, and also just the family community that you were able to build. I think that's so valuable. So many of us, when our kids get older, you know, I'm really fortunate that I have a great relationship with my older kids. But a lot of times I talk to people my age and they say, oh, they, you know, they don't hang out with their kids. They see them like once a year. I mean, I go on vacation with my kids. Like we just planned a family vacation. Take my kids out to dinner and stuff, and just having that relationship, because otherwise, like, what is it all for?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one thing that's so important, is building those relationships. It adds value to your business. It adds value to your finances. It adds value to your mental and physical health. And at the end of the day, it adds value to those you care the most about.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really leading a true family dynasty. When we can leave not just our wealth, but our intellectual property, our stories, right? The successes and maybe the things that went a little squirrely. Like that's really where the rich and wealthy, that's why they're able to be rich and wealthy, because they share all of that wisdom and knowledge with the next generation. Otherwise, it all stops with them.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I think is important to make sure that you share about the importance of, like, I mean, you've heard me, and I know you talk about it too, but when I talk about wellness, we always say mental, physical, the financial wellness is so important. And that's something that passing those on to our children and those that are curious, it's so helpful, because a lot of us growing up didn't get that financial education that we probably needed. We started off getting credit cards and racking up debt before we realized, oh, wait, we probably should have saved before we started spending, So I think it's so important to share that knowledge any way we can. So I look forward to your children's book about finances, because that, I think, is such a great thing to do.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And I want to highlight this comment. Love all the F words, festivities. Yes, I love F words. And absolutely, I say that, if it isn't fun, don't do it. Like you're really putting the fun into HR, you're putting the human touch into it and allowing people to see that you can have it all. You can be it all. You just have to schedule it in. A lot of people would be in your career and your vocation, and they would say, I just don't have time to write a book. I just don't have time to do social media. I just don't have time to be an influencer on LinkedIn. What would you say to that?
If you enjoy, you find a time, because I'll be honest, when I'm sitting down watching a TV show or a movie that I've already seen before, maybe I'm like, why am I do I need to rest right now? No, like what? I'm just spending time, and I don't need to fill up every minute of my day with something. I'm all about relaxing and watching. I'll binge shows all the time, but we have time. We choose how we use our time. So I challenge all of you, choose to use your time wisely and do it about something that you're passionate about. When I'm anxious about something, it's usually because I haven't taken any action.
Yeah.
And once I take that action, it makes a difference. So for me, when I can relax is when I know I've worked on everything for my work and I'm done with it for the day, and I feel good and accomplished, then I can relax. If I'm trying to do something personally, let me finish that project personally, or let me finish that project for my wife, so then I can relax. Because when I go to relax, if I still have something to do, I can't. So I encourage people, find that balance, but we all have the time. Now, if you all have young kids, you got like a 2, a 6, and a 3-year-old, okay, you're the exception. There are exceptions to the rule. Don't get me wrong. There's times in our lives where other things are a priority. Like I said, I'm pretty much an empty nester now. That's why I've had time to do these things. They've been in my head for 20 years.
Wow.
So it is something that sometimes it does take a little bit longer. You got to be patient, but don't let it go. And maybe not wait 20 years.
Yeah, especially now with all the AI tools that we have, we can definitely condense those time frames. So anything else as we wind down that you'd like to share about family, career, culture, and books?
Just that I think that, figure out what your 4 pillars are, because I think for me, those are my 4 pillars for the most part. Books is more about, I say, LinkedIn and community, but because I bring that to everything I do. LinkedIn, my work, and some places it's more received better and others it's received less, but it's appreciated. And I think that when you are able to bring that human factor along with that business factor, because at the end of the day, we have jobs, we have things that we have to get done. Those are the priority. And those may not be always the fun parts of our jobs, but we still have to do them. And doing benefit reports, I got to do them. Do I enjoy doing them? I don't know if I'd use the word enjoy, but I do them. It's part of what I accept. It's part of my job. When I'm recruiting, do I get excited? Yeah, because I love recruiting. Other people hate it. So find that joy, because for me, it helps you deal with the stuff that you don't enjoy as much, and that's okay. And people might think that you're not, oh, he seems to be doing all these things that he enjoys. Is he really doing work? Hopefully people are, because I know that for me, I don't touch the things I enjoy until the work is the serious work is done, because then I can enjoy it more.
Absolutely on point. And what I also say is that what I would add is that there's no such thing as balance. If you're trying to have every single thing. You're doing everything equally. You're at work 8 hours. You got to be with your family for 8 hours. They probably don't want to see you for 8 hours, right? What it is, it's spinning plates. It's spinning plates and understanding that things are going to be a little wonky. That's just the way it is. That's called entrepreneurship. And that's really why we are addicted to an entrepreneurship, right? It's not the same thing every single day. We get the ability to be creative and to do the things that really resonate with us and really follow our passions. Well, that's going to pretty much do it for us, Felipe. I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing with us your wisdom and how to become one of the cool kids on LinkedIn, because I really am aspiring to be worldwide Wealthy Wednesday. You see my map right here, right? One day, you're going to see this worldwide. We might have a smaller audience right now, but you mark my words. I've been doing this every single Wednesday for about 1.5 years. And I didn't know how I was going to do this. I had a few friends. I said, will you let me interview you? And then I just kind of figured it out. And now it's one of the funnest things that I look forward to. I get an opportunity to showcase other entrepreneurs, what they're doing. And I just really enjoy being able to do that. And it is Worldwide Wealthy Wednesday. What could be better than that?
And you do a great job of it. And I think you're making this such a pleasant experience. You make it easy. And you always provide such valuable, relevant information, Leah. So I encourage all of you all to check her out, because she is somebody who I've learned so much from in the past. I mean, when I was in banking, I was talking about a lot more about financial stuff back then. And to me, it's one of those things where you can tell you are passionate about it. You love it. And that's the kind of people I want to listen to, because the ones that love it and are passionate about it are learning it and making sure they understand it the best. So kudos to you for doing a great job.
Well, much gratitude. Listen, I don't have it all figured out either, right? We're in the process.
No one does.
You know what? You got to be willing, like Cassandra Terry says, you got to be willing to do it scared, do it with shaky legs, do it even if your voice trembles. I've been figuring this out through the madness, right? I've been kind of just figuring it out. Watch my previous videos. Listen, it was probably a little bit wonky, but you know what? I had the courage enough to be able to do that. And I say courageous people rule the world. That's truly what I believe. Thank you so much for this incredible time together. You've got a lot of old friends and new fans. Please make sure that you put the link in the chat so everyone can order your book. It's available on Kindle, also available on the hard copy. I'm waiting. My hard copy should be here today or tomorrow. I cannot wait, because I'm like you. I want to see the actual physical book. And I just love being able to cuddle up with a book. So I'm looking forward to that. So thank you so much, everyone. We appreciate you. And if you are a speaker looking for opportunities, I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to highlight you and what you do and have you as a guest speaker on my Wealthy Wednesday. So if you're here, it's because you are the one in your family. You truly are the one in your family to change your family's last name forever. Maybe that means that you build a financial dynasty. Maybe it means you're the first one in your family to author a book. Maybe it means you're the first one in your family to be debt-free or to buy a home or send your kids to college. I don't know what that means for you, but I'm telling you, every single one of you to a person, you can absolutely go from zero to hero and change your family's last name forever. It doesn't matter where you are right now. All that matters is where you're going. It doesn't matter how much debt you have or how much income you think you have or don't have. It's about understanding the rules of the game. So thank you so much, Felipe. I appreciate you so much. We're going to see you in these LinkedIn streets. And thank you so much, everybody. Remember, this is 2025 and your year to rise up and thrive and make it the best year of your life. Thank you so much, everyone.
Adios.
Felipe, adios.
Are you ready to take control of your financial future? Introducing Leah Garcia's Wall of Wealth, the ultimate one-page financial plan to protect, distribute, and transfer your wealth with confidence. Whether you're a business owner or just starting your financial journey, this step-by-step guide gives you the tools to create a solid foundation for long-term success. Don't wait to transform your money mind shift. Download your free copy today at leahgarcia.io and start building your wall of wealth now.